Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another recap of All American Homecoming Season 2, Episode 10, Dance with My Father. So, let's just say this episode was intense and it was definitely good, definitely worth watching. So, it starts off with, as y'all already know, Damon's father, adoptive father, passed away. So, he basically came back from Chicago and the gang was there to greet him with open arms. So we have JR and his girlfriend Gabby, we have Keisha and Cam, we have Simone, and we have Coach Turner. They was there to welcome him with open arms, and it was crazy because it was like he needed that, especially in this time of need. Like, even though his dad had Alzheimer's, like, that was the love of his life. Like, come on, that's the only father he knew. Even after finding out, everything he loved about this man wasn't true. So, he basically told the gang that he was all right. And everybody basically offered their presence to be there for him. Because, losing a loved one, no matter what age, is always hard. So the fact that they was there to help and support him, which is fine. And also, since Damon said he was fine, they also were celebrating JR's, 10 years in remission. So that was also a plus. And also getting into the Cape Cod baseball program. So that was good. So basically Damon said, listen, I'm good. We should be celebrating you and your accomplishments. And, JR was like, okay, that's good. And then once he left, JR was like, should we be worried? And everybody was like, yeah, most definitely. So after that, Simone and Thea, they're waiting in front of Coach Lonnie's office to talk to her. Come to find out, Coach Hines, the assistant coach, basically said, listen, she's not gonna be talking to y'all right now. I end up losing the bet, so y'all talking to me. So basically, long story short, Thea and Simone are now being put to a competitive test to see if they're eligible for the top 6 spot again. Because as y'all know, Thea got out the spot due to her injury, and Simone got out of her spot due to the CBC scandal, the weed scandal, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it, that illegal substance scandal, whatever. So now that them two are set to come back, they get dressed and go to practice. And the practice didn't go well. They were arguing and fighting. Coach Hines was like, listen, y'all got to get it together because this right here is not going to fly. And we also got the real match later on, so y'all need to get it together. And then Simone was like, yeah, you're right. We got to, work past this. So Tootie comes in to offer her assistance. She was like, listen, I'm going to text y'all our address and just be there within an hour. And Simone was like, Tootie, you've been in the middle of this mist from the beginning. She was like, yeah, I know, but we gotta win, and the whole team feel like we need to get this win. So they was like, okay. After that, we have Keisha. Come to find out, Dr. Pace been basically AWOL, and the assistant teacher has basically been filling in, and all the other students feel like, even though Keisha's been on Dr. Pace's bad side the whole entire time, it was actually kind of good because the other students got a chance to, practice what they work. Come to find out, their program that they had to do at the end of the month was canceled due to that, and all because of Dr. Patterson really telling Dr. Pace how she should switch it up and be lean on her students. So after Keisha heard that from the other students, Keisha took it upon herself to go walk into Dr. Patterson's office. Mind you, Cam is also the assistant to her, so he's sitting there, and she just bombards and starts talking like, why you did this, you betrayed me, all that other stuff. So she was hot and heated, and Dr. P was like, had to control her and tell her to redirect her tone. Like, listen, first of all, you come walking into my office. Second of all, you need to learn how to knock. You need to take a step back and breathe, and then tell me what your issue is. And Cam was like, kind of siding with Dr. P. He was like, listen, that's not how you talk to her. First of all, Keisha done turned around and listen. This is a private conversation. You ain't got to be here. And Dr. P was like, yeah, Cam, can you please give it a minute? So he looked at Keisha as he got ready to leave and was like, this chick, I know in his mind, he was like, what the hell? I mean, my bad. What in the world did I get myself into messing with this girl? Like, she literally went from 0 to 1,000 real quick. So they continued to talk and whatever. And then Keisha said what she had to say and she left. So now you got Dr. P feeling some type of way, because now it's like kind of like a patient teacher confidentiality, even though it's not. But you know, what's said between them should have just stayed between them, and she kind of should have redirected and reworded what she had to say to Dr. Pace in another form of fashion, and whatever the case may be, whatever. So moving right along, we now have Tootie meets up with the girls and come to find out her dad owns escape rooms all across Atlanta. So now Thea and Simone have to kind of find a way to escape through the escape room by following the clues to see if they can come to a common ground, you know, be cordial to one another so that they can win the match and win their game for the season. So after, you know, getting some clues, they got kind of stumped on the last one. So they decided to sit down and rethink. And this whole entire time, Keena, which is Damon's mom, has been calling Simone. And Thea was like, listen, you need to get that. She was like, listen, it's just Damon's mom calling him to check up on him. And Simone was like, you haven't checked up on him? She was like, no, I have not. Thea was like, I haven't checked up on him because, you know, I just got used to being this girlfriend thing and I don't know how to be the ex. So basically, Simone railed her right back. Listen, I understand what y'all have with Rocket, whatever the case may be. But, you know, the only thing you can do is start by being his friend and just show up, period. And Simone was like, Thea was like, okay, your little bedside man is kind of, you know, was off. But you know what? She's like, Simone was like, yeah, I know, because, you know, I'm focused on, you know, the match that we got in an hour. She's like, yeah, that's right. So after that, they finally come to a common ground, found the last clue, solved the riddle, and he was able to get out and was ready to start going for their practice match. Moving right along, we have JR and Damon. So basically, everybody showed up at the KEK house so they can congratulate JR in his 10-year remission. His father comes. Cam goes to help settle with the food, but Cam couldn't stay because he's also working. So basically, Jesse told Cam, like, listen, stay in there. It's worth it. It's good, you know. And basically, Cam gave his regards to Damon to tell JR that best wishes and big ups on the anniversary of your being in remission. So Damon gets a text, I guess, from Gabby, and Gabby and JR walks in, and next, you know, they was like, surprise! So he was happy to see his dad and his brother. Next, you know, they start talking about, because Gabby formally introduced herself like Mr. Raymond, and then Jesse was like, listen, Mr. Raymond is my dad, and you can call me Jesse. He was like, yeah, that is right, son. Next, you know, his dad, Jesse Sr. walked in and was like, yeah, you got that right. What up, grandson? And basically, JR introduced Gabby to his grandfather and to his other grandson, Damon. So after that, you know, they was playing poker, eating and chatting it up. And then the grandfather was a little sexist towards Gabby because he feel like, you know, she not a good fit for JR. So basically, Damon and Gabby picked up on it. And I kind of see how Jesse was treating Damon, because it's like, and Jesse was treating JR because his dad basically treated him the same way. So he picked up on the mannerisms real quick. And like the dad was always, the senior was always downgrading Jesse. And it was like, well, dang, you're not going to say nothing in front of your grandkids, whatever. So whatever. After that, Damon stepped off somewhere, as well as JR and Gabby, and Mr. Raymond and Jesse were talking, and Damon overheard the conversation. So long story short, it was Mr. Raymond's reason why Damon didn't get a chance to bond with his biological dad, and that he almost broke up the relationship between JR's mom and Jesse. So after that, JR, Damon, and Gabby dispersed. You know, the fathers had their powwow. That's when Damon goes back to JR's dorm room and tells him, like, listen, your grandfather trying to break you and Gabby up. Like, yeah. So Gabby was overhearing the conversation. She was like, yeah, you need to listen to your brother. So then that's when JR took the posture, like, listen, let's go clear the air right now. So basically, JR confronted his grandfather, and basically his grandfather said, yeah, I don't think she's a good fit for you. And that's when they found out that, you know, he's the reason why Damon got sent away, and that, you know, Jesse and Celine's relationship didn't last as well as it did. So now both JR and Damon was like, So they go on, take their break, whatever, and then they're, I guess, waiting in the common ground or the lobby. JR and Damon, and then next you know, their dad comes up with some cupcakes, and they start talking to have a moment. So around this time, Damon decides to get up and leave. Now, this part I didn't tell y'all because I kind of, you know, it didn't dawn until right now. So, in the beginning of this episode, it also shows Simone going to Damon's room to talk about how his mother been calling to check up on him to see how his headspace is, and also to let him know about the letter that his dad wrote for him a few years ago until the day he died. So, that was that. So, now we're going to get to this. But before we get into that, Thea, she decides to go see Damon to, like, try to apologize to him for how she been treating him, and to try to tell him, listen, we should get back on track and stuff like that. And also, Simone and Thea both got into the top 6, so that was a plus. So they got to continue to work on their sportsmanship and tennis, and hopefully eventually become cordial and personal. Okay, so now we get to the last. Keisha. She apologizes to Cam and Dr. P because she was in the wrong. And Dr. P told her, like, listen, whatever I say between us, stay between us. So that was that. And also, Keisha told Dr. P about how her dad wants to have relations with her. And she's basically taking that into consideration. And also, Coach Turner was propositioned from A.D. Taylor about this building so that they can do some type of program in it, and they just needed Dr. P's approval on it. So they had a meeting about that. Basically, in Dr. Taylor's eyes, Coach Turner sided with him. So now Amara, Dr. P, and Coach Turner, they had a conversation after the fact. So basically, Coach Turner told Dr. P that, like, listen, just trust me. I have a plan that we can work these things out. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. And also, Coach Turner confessed his love to Dr. P, and, you know, they kissed it out. We don't know, because now Coach P is kind of torn between two men. She got Keisha's dad, Zeke, and then she got her old love flame, Coach Turner. We going to see how that things roll out for them. So after that, we have the lasting part of this episode, the best part. Damon's back in his room, and he decided to read the letter from his dad. He was able to read the first page, and then he was like, listen, let me go ahead and leave. He goes to show up to Simone's door, knocks on the door, and she lets him in. And basically he was like, listen, I read the first part. I couldn't really get to the rest. And Simone was like, do you want me to read it? He was like, sure. So long story short, how Damon was feeling about Jesse was what his dad wrote in the letter for him. And, you know, he started crying because it's like, dang, I've been treating my biological father like crap, all because of my adoptive father. And I feel like I betrayed his trust and his heart. And in all actuality, my adopted dad really wanted me to get a chance to know my real dad. So all the feelings that he was feeling was put to the test in his letter, and it's like, dang, now he don't have to feel so guilty. So basically, he started crying. Simone was there to hug him, And next, you know, they have a moment. They start kissing. And that is that. Now that, you know, everything's out on the table, I kind of wonder, where will things stand between Thea and Damon and Simone and Lando? Like, is that's going to jeopardize their friendship? Is it going to put their friendship to the test? Will others on the outside looking in think that, you know, it's messy? Like, Simone, you got this dude, but then again, you also still feeling the dude that you was feeling from the get-go. Like, how is this all going to play out? Like, what are the other prospective parties going to think about? Like, are y'all really messing up a relationship? You really trying to be that messy? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section for next week's episode. But this one was definitely good. I hope and pray everybody comes on good common ground and, you know, moving forward, like, not be so messy. Because that right here was, Simone and Damon, I was like, no, why you kissing this man? I was like, what about Theo? What about Thea and Lando? Like, nah, that's so disrespectful. The betrayal, like, you just got on good terms with both Thea and you got your man Lando, like, ooh. And you know it's crazy, we didn't even see Lando we didn't see Lando at all this episode, so you already know something was about to go down. Like, that was a setup. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Y'all stay tuned for next week's episode. I got y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.